Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Sienna and Jack Wright videos, and we're going to clear up kind of what's going on. So if you guys are a little confused, we're going to be going through all the videos and explaining, maybe pointing out, maybe if there's lies, maybe pointing out just stuff to persuade your, convince the audience what's really going on.
We're gonna be detectives, and we're gonna solve.
We're going to try and see what's actually going on here,
There's
and maybe
lawsuits.
who you should believe. Because this is a serious situation. Alright, so we're going to start off with the first Sienna video. We're going to try and go in chronological order.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright. It's currently 2 a.m. and I've been listening to everyone around me tell me what to do all day and what I shouldn't say, and I basically just want to come on here because I'm not making an apology video. This is more of a statement. I didn't want to bring this online, as I said in my statement earlier, but this has gotten to a point where my name is being dragged in the mud, and I am going to stand up for myself and tell the truth. I have nothing to apologize for because I did not sexually assault Jack Wright. Jack never confirmed or denied it, which makes the situation even worse because he never denied it, knowing that is not true. The allegations were made in a tweet by—
I struggle with seeing a girl getting praised after telling my best friend to kill himself and sexually assaulting him numerous times after he set boundaries and then repeatedly wonder why he doesn't like you back. She also has a history of verbally abusing people in high school and in LA. She prioritizes the growth of her platform rather than the positive message she represents herself as. Followers should not be an excuse to get away with abusive behavior. You guys should all deserve to know the truth about her. But I do have something to say about this tweet real quick, and I think everybody else would agree. If I was assaulted or anybody was assaulted, I wouldn't think I wouldn't think I would want, or anybody else would want, their best friend going to Twitter about it.
Yeah, I'd be mad because I wouldn't bring it to social media in the first place.
If they went to the cops, I'd be like, okay, I mean, I guess good for you. You know, maybe I'd be a little mad because it was my decision. But going to Twitter, the place that, everybody sees Twitters. Everybody sees tweets. And also, I do notice that the full thing is a tweet, but the picture looks like from the Notes app. So I just want to point that out. And also, I want to point out how serious Sienna looks.
Yeah.
It does not look like...
This is not an apology. This is a statement.
Yeah.
Well, she's addressing the allegations, that's her,
Well, I just want to point out how serious she looks for later in the video. So I want to tell everybody real quick that we tried to film this last night, but somebody that was filming messed up. So we
okay, it was.
And her name is Peyton.
All right, let's continue.
One more time, I did not sexually assault Jack Wright. The claims that he made and that James co-signed are completely false. Over the past few months, Jack and I have been together almost every day, and he never once brought these sexual assault allegations to me in private, which is why I was so confused and in shock when they came out in public. The tweet is now taken down, and James Wright has removed all of his retweets, which I think says enough in itself. Let me be clear one more time. The allegations in Mason Rizzo's tweets are false. It's seriously so uncomfortable, and I hate that I have to disclose this, but Jack and I never had sex. It feels really uncomfortable having to disclose this part of my life to the internet, especially because I'm a 17-year-old girl. For so long, I was strung along and misled by Jack. It's honestly really embarrassing for me because I gave my entire heart and all of my love for 9 months so vulnerably on the internet, and everyone can go and look at these videos and see how invested I was in our relationship, and when I wasn't inconvenienced, when I wasn't around for the video or the TikTok kiss or the TikTok views, I wasn't important to him. But that is not true in my case. I cared about him on a personal level, and I will always have a special place in my heart for him. It's so crazy to me how once a relationship or a friendship has ended, people will turn your very best qualities against you, which I know my very best qualities are the way I love.
All right, is there anything to say before we move on?
So basically, she's saying that she cares about Jack a lot.
Yeah, and that
even after this
the relationship was fake, that he didn't care about her offline.
Remember that yesterday we looked up.
Peyton, no one was talking.
Sienna was a minor during this, and Jack was 18.
Sienna was a minor when all of this whole thing happened, and he was over 18. She was a minor. But then Jack decided to post his video right after Sienna May turned 18, so now he can press charges against her, and that it won't look sus that he was dating a minor.
That passion is now newly regarded as possessive or desperate. That is so frustrating to me. And after everything that I did for him, and after all the love that I gave him, I feel so stupid. That's the only way I can explain it. I just feel fucking stupid. I never wanted to bring this to the internet in a way that was problematic, and so 2 weeks ago I asked him to film a video with me for
my own mental health. I'm going to make this video clarifying that what we are, so I can move forward with my life. I want you to be a part of it because you were a part of this journey, but if you don't want to, I understand. Just need to make it either way. I'm sorry, Sienna, I just don't think it's smart for both of us. Hey, I had so much fun with you, whether it was lying to go skydiving or jumping off Wayama. I think that's how you say it. Sorry we got in a fight on the last bit of the trip. I didn't mean what I said. Hope you feel better and have a safe flight home. See you soon. So that means that Jack said something either offensive or something that just made Sienna mad at the end of their trip.
Yes, because they got in an argument.
But this also says that Sienna cut off Jack first, which might be a big part of the situation.
Correct.
For my mental health sake, because I couldn't move on with everyone thinking that we were still together, and he told me that it wasn't healthy for either of us, because he knew that this would mean losing his online girlfriend, even though my mental health was suffering because I wanted to be with him so bad, and he knew that he would never and did not have feelings for me. That's why this has been so confusing to me, because it was real online, and then it was sometimes real offline, and sometimes it wasn't, which was so misleading, and honestly just such a mental mindfuck for me. I was misled and played by him in a relationship that wasn't defined because of him. He never defined the relationship because it was beneficial for him to keep it undefined. And that was a mental game for me because it left me second guessing whether or not there was hope for the future. I never knew, and I will never know if he truly loved me, even though he told me he did. All I can say is that I was in love with him. He has said hurtful things to me the way I've said hurtful things to him, but in the end, I loved him no matter what. I've seen numerous arguments asking why lie about sexual assault, and this isn't a lie. But it wasn't me who sexually assaulted him. And Jack, I'm so sorry that I have to do this to you and I have to out you like this. And I never, ever, ever would have done this to you if it didn't get to the low point that it did, where my name was literally being slandered left and right. And I'm sorry, but for the one time, I have to protect myself before I protect you. I was trying to be there for the both of us and trying to keep your name and your personal business out of it. But you didn't keep my personal business out of it, knowing damn well that your friends were going to post those tweets. And I'm sorry, but you know I did not sexual assault you. We both know what happened, and we both know who it was, and we both know that I was not at that gathering that night. I'm so disappointed in you and the people around you because they are letting you misplace your trauma onto me, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. It's not my place to speak your story, and I will not discuss this any further, but it's not your place to allow false allegations to be spread about me when we both know that I was not the one.
She said that she didn't go to that gathering that he was sexually assaulted at. So he was sexually assaulted at a gathering, but not by her. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also want to notice that she did say that she made him mad, sending the message saying that they should not be he can be a part of this video if she wanted. Like that one, the message, it kind of explained, like, I think she explained how it might have made him mad, and then he knew that telling his friends something like that, they would go straight to the internet.
Yeah,
I think that's like a big part of it, because like people go to social media so people can see it. That's the whole that's the whole point of it.
One who did this to you. I was there for you through the aftermath and all those depressive nights and the nights that you had no motivation, and I would go and I would clean your room and I would get you food and I would be there for you as a good friend because I cared about you so much. I'm so sorry that this happened to you, and I really hope you can get through this. Mason, I loved you as a brother, and I'm sorry that I have to do this, but you took it too far, just like you always do. Mason, you posted false claims and you slandered my name, and we all know that none of this is true. Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing. Actually, keep posting things, because we both know that's not true, and my legal team is gathering evidence as we speak. I hope you're ready for the real consequence.
Yeah, so
notice how she got a legal team first. This video was posted, I believe, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he just chose to speak on it like 2 days ago.
He just chose to speak on it, and she did turn 18 just a few days ago.
January
Which
16th.
It's kind of a big red flag, because why would he post it right after she turned 18? That is kind of a big thing to point out. Also, she got the legal team first.
And we all know that none of this is true. Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it.
Yes, I think her saying that they have no evidence and her saying they have no evidence and that he can post whatever evidence they have, I think that also kind of signifies that she is probably telling the truth, because I don't want to say this, but if I were to do something bad, I wouldn't want people to post evidence if I knew that I did something bad. But since she's in the mindset of she did nothing wrong, then she knows she did nothing wrong, so they have no evidence. Which I think I would say that too.
Well, she's also not scared that they have any evidence because she knows it's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not scared. If she would be scared, I feel like, or maybe she is scared. Maybe she is scared, and that's why she's making this video.
That's why I said maybe. That it's not 100% true for sure. But okay, let's continue.
False allegations. I'm sorry, and I loved you, but what you did is so low and unforgivable. Be ready. All I'm going to say, James, is I'm so surprised that you're so outspoken on an issue that we both know you relate so closely with. It would really suck if a large group of people, including some of my closest guy friends and my brother, had to share the experiences that they've had with you. Saying that I sexually assaulted your twin is very bold, especially coming from you. Don't believe everything you see on social media. These comments that are now resurfacing, I admit they make me look dumb.
So let's just read through them real quick. You're too nice. Can you? Okay, we're not going to go through all of them because but anyway, so these I don't want to say these are edited because most likely they aren't.
I don't think they're edited because if you
But we said we don't want to trust screenshots we would a video or photos, because even though photos and videos can be edited as well, screenshots are a lot easier to edit. I know how to edit screenshots back when I was 8. I could have done that, and because all you really have to do is replace the name and the profile picture. So we don't want to depend too much on these screenshots, but also these could have been taken way out of context, because as you can tell, these are probably all from different videos, and I could bet Jack posted videos that would kind of, especially since they were dating.
Yeah.
He's probably just joking around.
I'm going to speak on that real quick. Because if you see, it says, Sienna, you have 10 minutes to expose me.
But, that's not exposing him. That's just saying, weird.
I think it's not exposing them both.
Oh, and also said, she also commented, this do be one-sided love. And she did say, it says, why don't you want me back? Stuff like that. She did say that she was the only one that loved him, and he was only in the relationship for social media. So that might signify that that's what she thought.
Well, if she...
telling the truth. Okay, well, let's end on a note that these comments are from different videos. They were dating. They were probably
Well, that's what we think.
That's a possibility.
We need to continue the video, though.
Desperate and weird and crazy. If you know the context, it makes it make a little more sense. Jack and I were sitting in the back of a car as we were writing these comments. He was next to me and he had his phone out, refreshing and looking at my comments, and I would be posting them. He would be telling me what to say, and I would be telling him what I'm going to say, and we were doing this together, and we were both laughing our asses off at this. There are also many other accounts and TikToks that can be taken out of context that look weird now that were fabricated from both Jack and I during the time, and I would just encourage you not to believe everything you see on social media because a lot of it does have a backstory. The last thing I'm going to address is accusations of people from high school that are now coming out saying that I body shamed them or was rude to them or made them cry, and all these different accusations have me actually very confused. Jack and James both have a lot of mutual friends and are great on the surface level. They are super kind people, have always been the popular kids at school, always super involved in sports, while I was not. I've never been somebody that let my guard down easily. I take a while before I become close with somebody. I never really got too close with anyone at my high school, and I don't remember saying anything or hurting anybody, although a lot of the experiences and interactions that I've seen using my name are false. If I actually did offend or hurt you, I am so sorry. If you have a problem with me, please feel free to call me, and if you don't have my number, then we don't have a problem.
Let's pause.
No,
I just want to say, the Mason saying that she would offend people in high school, that has nothing to do with the situation.
He is like,
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to make her look bad. Like, that has nothing at all to do with the situation, and he's just trying to make her look bad, which I think is another sign.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Let's finish this video.
Yeah, we're almost done, and then we can speak a little bit and then go to the next.
Jack, James, and Mason, I truly loved you, and I'm honestly so sorry that I had to get to this point, because I never would have in a million years imagined that our friendship would have ended like this, but my name is being slandered and dragged through the mud, and I need to defend myself and let people know the truth. I'm sorry to my supporters that have been confused by this, and I'm honestly really sorry that I didn't say anything sooner. Today has probably been one of the worst days of my life, and I'm finally listening to my gut on what feels right to do. I believe you guys deserve to know the truth, and although I'm not a perfect person, I'm working towards becoming the best version of myself, and karma is real.
Alright, so in that video... No, we can go to the next video. We'll just pause it.
Stop presenting for a second. And then, so the cameras are big, and then we can go to that one.
Right. So that video, she showed some tweets and who posted them. Also the dates, which I think are very important. How she showed evidence. Even though all of the evidence that she showed was supposed to be against her. I like how she debunked all of them. Guys, so we found out that she just posted something on Wattpad that we were going to read through right after we watched her part 2 on YouTube. So let's go ahead.
I don't know if it's on that, but
let's go ahead and whatever it's from.
While we're watching this video, I'm going to also do a little bit of research and try and figure out where this video is from.
Let's watch the video.
After the initial claims that were falsely made by Mason Rizzo, I put out a video that showed evidence and was very well received because people could see the true intention. Once again, I'm having to give context to a video that was put out and immediately deleted. Before I start, I stand with what I said in the last video. I did not sexually assault Jack Wright. We must always listen to victims. Yes, Jack was a victim of sexual assault, but not by me. And I am a victim of continual attempts to cancel me and slander my name with false claims. It will not work. I'm here to clear.
She's way more aggressive in this one.
Marin? Yes, Marin? Also, sorry guys, Peyton and Emily had camera malfunction, so they're not going to share their camera.
Okay.
All right, let's continue.
Clear things up and provide all sides of the story because I have been labeled as a sexual assaulter. If I say nothing, my name continues to be slandered. And trust me, I have tried multiple times to take this offline, and I am continually undermined by Jack and his inner circle. Jack has not spoken on the situation, and his friends keep dropping cryptic and non-specific information. The initial tweets, as well as
her saying that they keep tweeting about it and they keep screenshotting and posting stuff about it, that she is... Caitlin, you can use your mic if you want. That is true. And also, them not being so specific and putting dates and, like, names and stuff like that, that is also very true. So she just said 2 true things, which... about the 3 people, James, Jack, and Mason, which I think just to show real quick that she's speaking the truth.
the video that I am talking about right now have been taken down. If you present evidence of somebody being sexually assaulted, don't you think you should stand by it? And it looks a little suspicious when you immediately remove it from the internet. The reason they are removing it is because they know it will get picked up by these T sites and put all over our Instagram pages and TikTok For You pages. If someone was sexually assaulted, the evidence is evidence. You don't delete evidence. As you can see here and anywhere online, Jack and I were very touchy-feely with our friendship. This is the way that we interacted with each other.
Did you want me to pause?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that's true, and I have seen quite a few of their videos, and almost every single video, they are very touchy. Yeah, like extremely. So I think that's very true. All right, and Emily and Peyton, we know we were chatting offline. Please keep everything into this call. Thank you.
And it is in any video you go watch of us. Please, and I encourage you to go watch my recent YouTube videos featuring Jack, our recent TikToks. You will see that this behavior was normal. Online, we touched each other, kissed each other, we were playful. Jack kissed me and I kissed him. Within the boundaries of our relationship, this was normal. I'm now going to break down the video and show it to you.
Let's pause. Wait, Maren, could you go back and put it in slow-mo and pause?
So this is where he lifted his hand up, right? He claims he was unconscious.
I'm not going to...
As you can see, so let's look at where Jack's hands are and Sienna's hands. Jack is like this. One seems to be on his friend over here, and the other seems to be kind of like this. So it means his head is like this. It seems like it's leaned back on the couch. So if he really is unconscious, his head is back. And Sienna's head and his head, their lips are not touching. Because do you see how far her head is off the, like it's impossible for the heads to touch.
Yeah.
And also, so let's continue the video, and then we can point out two other things. So let's watch his hand on the shoulder. Clearly
right there, it goes up. And then right there. If you look between the guy's legs,
let's go back again. So okay, right there. Pause. So you could see it get lifted off the shoulder, maybe a few inches, but let's just say that did fall off. If it did fall off and he was sleeping, he would have woken up. If he was unconscious, he was either drinking, which is illegal, or doing drugs, which is both not good. And then when he gets up, let's look between his legs, and we'll see his hand move again. Look between Mason's leg. That's Mason right there. Ready? His hand moves right there. His hand moves, which means that he was totally conscious throughout the entire thing.
Jack. As you can clearly see, that is Sienna and that is Jack passed out on the couch, unconscious. This is the first time I met Sienna, and I did not know that they had a fake relationship. This is me in the white hat. I was taking care of Jack while he was unconscious on the couch. Yeah, Sienna then hops on top of him, and I didn't think nothing of it. I started hearing kissing noises, and I peeked over my shoulder, and it was exactly that. I was so thrown off guard that I had to flee the situation. Whatever their relationship was at the time, obviously this was not right. So I went back and took Sienna off of Jack. Not to mention, when I got closer, I noticed her right hand inappropriately touching his crotch. She was shocked that I pulled her off, and she kept trying to justify what she had just done. I talked to James and Jack the next day about the situation that happened that night. And James said that happens all the time.
The way that Jack's friend narrated this video, I admit, looks so weird and looks just like real. But like my last video where I showed comments that were resurfacing and then provided a backstory, not everything is how you see on social media. This is a breakdown of the video. The clip of me kissing Jack, he is also kissing me. I was looking at him face to face. He was kissing me back. Lachlan claims that he was unconscious. If he was unconscious, why did his arm move when you got up? And also, why was he kissing me back? You claim in your video that you hear kissing noises.
I started hearing kissing noises and I peeked over my shoulder and it was exactly that.
We were kissing. Lachlan also claims that my hand is on Jack's crotch. While it is not, my hand is very visibly on Jack's thigh, upper thigh. This video was very strategically narrated, and the clip of Jack asleep after, where he actually was unconscious or asleep, was after we had just made out. These two clips look terrible edited together. But that is the point. They are edited together. One more point. If Jack was being sexually assaulted in this moment, James, why did you record it? James, you are Jack's twin brother. And I know that if my brother saw me being taken advantage of, he would pick up the person on top of me and beat them to shit, not film it. We both know that the reason you were filming it is because it was uncomfortable and PDA, and it was funny because Jack and I were making out in the middle of the room where other people were. Obviously, Lachlan stood up. Of course he's gonna stand up. If someone's making out right next to me, I'm gonna get uncomfortable, and I'm gonna stand up. And Lachlan, you claim that you picked me up and told me to get off of Jack after this video was taken, and that I was trying to justify my action. We both know that did not happen. I got up on my own, and shortly after, you see Jack fell asleep after. Jack, we were together this entire night, and at the party we had attended before we had gone to this house, you were introducing me as your girl, and as I've explained before, I was very misled in this situation. This was also in November.
This video is from November 30th, 2020.
When we had first just started to kind of ease our way into relationship, not relationship, defined, and you were introducing me as your girl to a group of people. So what am I to believe that the signals that you're giving me? Having your friends take a 10-second clip out of context of this entire night is not sexual assault. Let's talk about what happened after the video. Lachlan, who was, by the way, the person that posted this video, one of Jack's friends, claimed that the next day, James claimed this happened all the time and it made them uncomfortable. First of all, if they were so uncomfortable, why didn't they say anything to me? The night that this video was taken, which was November 30th.
This video is from November 30th, 2020.
As he clearly says in the video, I got dropped off at my house and they got dropped off at theirs. The next day, December 1st, they willingly hung out with me, which doesn't align with the story, because if I was just taken advantage of, I know that personally, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree to this.
Yes, I think that's true. If something like that actually happened to me or anyone, I think, like, why would I go hang out with them the next day?
Yeah.
And be touchy? Like, let's watch the next 30 seconds, and then let's pause again and talk about this.
The next day, willingly. This is also a TikTok that was made December 1st, not even 24 hours after the said sexual assault.
Good morning. I just want to say that...
Do you think Jack would have made this video with me if he felt uncomfortable from the night before? Again, this video was back in November. If there was a problem, why did we continue to hang out? And why did we continue to film flirty videos? Not only the next...
Yes, so the next day, the very next day, they hung out. I think all of them did. And Jack was still very touchy. And then for the next, I believe, 8-9 months, they still hung out. Or up to the 7-month point, 7 months ago. Or 8-9 months ago. Up until then. Maybe he was kind of pressured, but I don't think he would still stay that happy and that touchy after that.
But days and months after, until May of 2021, where you were flirty and touchy back with me. It benefited you on social media when you knew that I actually had feelings for you that had been developing over months since we first started filming together, and you allowed and encouraged these TikToks to happen. This video is proof of nothing, and instead raises more questions about Jack's issues and his friends' behaviors. Oh, and this screenshot right here is proof of what you think of the guy that
Pause it, but that just kind of shows what type of person he is.
It's proof of what you think of the guy that defended you. That clip, taken out of context 7 months later, only looks bad now because your friends are claiming and narrating that I sexually assaulted you. Just an example, if one of us had posted this clip on one of our TikToks or included it in a video or anything like that, this wouldn't be seen as weird or out of the ordinary, because this is the kind of content we posted and the kind of interaction.
Yeah, I think that is very true. If someone posted that to the Instagram story or something like that, maybe like Snapchat or whatever, we would not be here today.
Yeah.
I just really think that, like, it's only taken out of context because they took it out of context. Yeah. And you can tell that he clearly moved his hand twice. So I think that's just a big, like, signifier, I guess, if that's a word.
That we had together. Your friends are trying to make this look sensational, when for us, it was ordinary. Again, I think it's important to say, and it's so fucking uncomfortable that I have to say it because I'm literally 17, but we never had sex. I've never seen him naked. I have never touched him naked. And I literally hate that I have to say this online because it's honestly just inappropriate. Jack, if you really feel like I sexually assaulted you, why didn't you report me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you come out with these claims months ago? Why didn't you stop hanging out with me every day? Why didn't you say anything till now? This has all been claims of your friends, false claims. Now that we are not on good terms, the story has changed.
That is true. Yeah. Only his friends has said anything up to the point until she turned 18.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he came out and said something.
And he didn't do anything, like, while this was going on, he didn't do anything about it.
Even though he might have been recovering and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If he let his friends, well, actually, no, he did say something. He said that he was glad his friends protected him with the truth that we saw in the previous video.
Which they deleted all of that, so it obviously wasn't true.
Yes, they keep deleting all the evidence, which she has said it's very suspicious. Like, if they go to the internet, obviously they want people to see it. So if they want people to believe them, if they're going to the internet in the first place and they want people to believe them, they should at least leave the evidence up. And they should let Jack do something himself, because he was the victim in the situation. So he should have the say whether it gets out or not.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Deleting the evidence doesn't really help your case. It just makes you seem guiltier.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. That's just very weird. All right. Is everybody ready to continue?
I agree. Okay, let's continue.
Which I do not take lightly, and no one should, is much different than you now saying you are uncomfortable with what happened 7 months ago. Why do your friends keep taking short, out-of-context moments of our almost year-long relationship to flip things and make them look worse than they actually were? This video is your evidence. And why is all of your evidence posted and quickly deleted? His friends are painting him as the victim, and he is the victim, but not of me. And somehow, I still have enough love for Jack to not disclose any of his private information, because it's not my place. It's not my place to talk about his assault, and I will not do so. But Jack was sexually assaulted, and I was not there, and this is something I'm going to leave up to you to share or not, because I understand that experience is so...
Whoa.
Pause it. That was a big moment.
Go back 20 seconds. Like, just click the back arrow 4 times. All right, let's rewatch.
His friends are painting him as the victim, and he is the victim, but not of me. And somehow, I still have enough love for Jack to not disclose any of his private information, because it's not my place. It's not my place to talk about his assault, and I will not do so. But Jack was sexually assaulted, and I was not there, and this is something I'm going to leave up to you to share or not, because I understand that experience is so...
She's being very repetitive, which makes me think that, like, either, like, this is possibilities. She has some sort of script, and she's just very good at sticking to a story, or this is what actually happened, which is the most believable thing, most believable possibility, because, like, why would she say the same thing over and over again if it wasn't true? Like, I think if I were to lie and I did not have a script, which she has very minimal cuts, so I wouldn't think she's doing a script.
I actually am noticing. I want to speak on this. Some cuts.
Yeah, there are some cuts, but like
if you go to, like, when we watch Jack's video, you'll be able to see, like, lighting changes and lots of cuts.
Some cuts are okay, because, like, she might just go to the bathroom, or, like, she might, like, sometimes if she kind of drones on, she's just like,
I think she kind of wants.
No, she might just cut it out.
since this is like serious, she also wants to make sure she's like, because I'm sure she doesn't want to have to address it again, because this is the second time she has to address it. She's probably trying to sound the most mature, like, so she doesn't look suspicious and
And
stuff.
she definitely looks very serious, and she looks like she's not joking.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're making cuts in videos, it basically means that you stuttered a lot. You could have stuttered a lot if you don't have a script, and that's why you want to take those parts out. So the important parts that need to be said are in the video,
Yeah.
and so the boring parts are cut off.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that she just doesn't have a script. It just means that she wants the more important parts in the video.
That's why I was saying, like, if she said or kind of like filler words like or or
traumatic, and I'm still so sorry you have to deal with that. As I said in my last video, and I will keep saying, I did not sexually assault Jack Wright. You have to stop misplacing your trauma onto me, and I understand that when I cut you and James off 2 weeks ago, it wasn't in the most friendly way, and it was all of a sudden just to stop out of nowhere. But for my own mental health, I had to get away from you guys in order to move on and genuinely be happy with myself. All of this online bullying and false claims need to stop. The goal of this whole plan is simple: to cancel me and ruin my image. Your friends' claims and underlying attempts will not work because the truth is on my side.
Yeah.
You've now been served cease and desist letters by my attorneys. I've seen the jokes and the memes about Sienna's legal team, but I'm being accused of an actual crime. Do you really think I would follow through with legal action if these crimes were true? No, because they are not true. These defamatory claims were made to ruin my name. I will continue to stand up for myself and tell the truth. This is false, and I refuse to let the people who supported me and the people who have been there throughout my entire career, as well as this shitty situation, believe that these false claims are a representation of my character. I want to make a more in-depth video about cancel culture later on, but for right now, all I can say is that cancel culture is the worst thing ever, and it needs to be addressed because now I am literally being associated with these false allegations that I will probably never be able to get away from. I have felt unconditional love on social media and such an overwhelming amount of support. I have also felt like the most hated person on the internet in this situation, where I am constantly receiving death threats and so much hate. And this amount of negativity is something that no one should ever experience. The only reason I'm making this video is because I have the truth, and I will not allow my name to be slandered with false claims. But right now, all I want to do is go up to my room and cry and die. Literally just die. And that is not meant to be emotional or make you have pity for me, but after feeling the pain that I have felt these past few days, I will make it my goal to talk about cancel culture. This isn't a joke, and it's not about sides. It's not, which TikToker do you like better after the end of the relationship? These are real allegations that have real implications on people's lives, now including mine and yours, as well as both of our families. The evidence you may have may be convincing to 12-year-olds on TikTok room, but according to legal experts, this does not hold up. This video that your friend provided as evidence is not evidence because it is in the realm of the videos that we normally did that anyone can go look at. As a generation, I think we need to work on formulating our own opinions while we are informed.
Wait, can we go
Everyone's
back
mind
real
shifts
quick?
like this. And like I said,
Let's
this
look
is not
at
about
something where
our
Jack's
families.
hand is.
The evidence you may have may be convincing to 12-year-olds on TikTok room, but according to legal experts, this does not hold up. This video that your friend provided as evidence is not evidence. As a generation, I think we need to work on
Well, not right here. We can keep going. We don't need to look at that.
formula.
All right. So it seems like his hand was like near on her waist, kind of pulling her in. So it does seem like they were in some sort of relationship.
Yeah.
So it definitely does seem like they were still very touchy after the fact.
Yeah.
And if during the whole thing Jack felt uncomfortable, I don't think he would have done that. So I just wanted to point that out.
Formulating our own opinions while we are informed. Everyone's mind shifts like this. And like I said, this is not about sides. This is a serious ass claim. I have provided the facts and the evidence that I did not do this. I stand by the fact that I did not sexually assault Jack Wright. Once again, and you will learn, karma is real. Saying that I sexually assaulted your twin is very bold, especially coming from you.
Drew, James Wright kissed me on the cheek at Wish.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Was it weird?
It was kind of weird.
That's okay. I'm sorry.
Was it really that weird? Were you uncomfortable with it?
Yeah.
I'm not gay.
I
know.
Yeah, that's why it's.
Oh, that is a little weird.
I was like, "What's up, James?" Well, and then he's like, "Give me a hug," and he like kissed me like on the ear and then cheek. That's weird.
So at the end of that video, it kind of shows what type of person James is. Kind of just like a silly,
Yeah.
There was another word, like a joking kind of person.
Yeah.
And that he seems like the type of person that if he would, like, this is a possibility. I'm not saying Jack did not get assaulted, but it could be a possibility that maybe Sienna got one of them mad, and James decided to go do like make Sienna seem like bad, like a bad person, and really just like ruin her image.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
And she got a legal team first, which is kind of a major thing. Like,
because
why would this? It's still a possibility, definitely a possibility that Jack was assaulted, and like she could have got a legal team first. It's not 100% evidence that she didn't assault him.
She said that he did get assaulted, but it wasn't by her.
Mm-hmm.
But
why
would she knows who assaulted him, but
why would she do it? Yeah, because she wouldn't want to start something if there wasn't a start in the beginning.
That's her platform to do that and speak on something that's not her.
No, but she didn't reach out to anyone. If she knew who assaulted him, why didn't she reach out to someone offline and say he just got assaulted? Like, if she really cared about him, like,
she posted something to the internet because she was getting death threats. At the end of that video, she said she literally wanted to die. And
I have the article, so when you're ready, I can read.
Well, at the end of the video, she said she wanted to die and her mental health was suffering.
Because I sent you the article.
She said she loved Jack and he was only in it for social media.
Yeah.
And then after they broke up, she was already going through a lot because on the trip, he said something mean to her on the way back, which was revealed in that text message. And then all these people sending her death threats because of the possibility of these false. If they are false, then she's probably going through a lot.
Okay, well, I sent you the article. I haven't even been 18 a whole week yet, but the decisions I've had to make as a new adult are challenging me in ways that make me wish I could go back to being a kid. If you're here, you probably know about my situation. I'm going to assume that you already know for the last 8 months, I've been fighting a very public battle that involves topics I don't know much about until recently. Trigger warning. Sexual assault, boundaries, consent. For 8 long, grueling months, I've been fighting to save friendships, to save business relationships, to save my own mental health. But until this week, I was so proud of the progress I had made. I like being on my phone less and learning to surf and cook with friends and value things that really matter. For 4 days after turning 18, my former friend Jack Wright, the one I've been tangled with in a toxic web of accusations and internet tea, posted a 17-minute video about me. Yesterday, 5 days past turning 18, I had to say okay to a media statement written by my publicist in response into that video. Shortly after that, my legal team sent his legal team a letter threatening a lawsuit for defaming my character because that is the best next step to clear your name. I'm all sure it's hitting the media right now. I've never been so scared in my life. I thought turning 18 would be amazing, and so far, it honestly just sucks. I have had 3 choices that I can see. Go read the millions "I hope you kill yourself" message in my DMs. 2, let my well-meaning parents and team dictate next steps and tie us up for what people could be years in a legal battle with people who I once considered my friends. Or 3, write down everything from my heart and use my newfound adult status to take accountability and share the whole truth with anyone who will listen. To be honest, it's not hard to choose number 1 and actually follow through. I told myself and my parents last night that I just want to die. I'm so tired of fighting. I'm so tired of seeing the hate and people taking sides. My heart hurts from my friends and my family and people I associate with who are getting bullied on their own social media accounts just because they know me. So I'm going to choose number 3 for sake of the people I love. I'm going to get real and bare my soul and have faith that I trust with the land and I'm meant to be. Do you want to go, Robbie?
We don't really need to go into the beginning of like what all of this because it is posted straight to TikTok Insiders if anybody else wants to read it. But just kind of to just kind of sum up what happened there. She is kind of saying how many death threats she's getting and how her mental health is, like how many, everything that's happening to her.
She's also going over the thing. It's just in word form.
Yeah. But if you guys want to read it, it's on TikTok Insiders on Instagram. But she also did point out that right when she turned 18 is when he started doing stuff.
Which is
kind
of weird.
He pointed that out too, which I think is very weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch the last video and let's see his point of view.
I've sat down many times trying to do this. It's been very hard. I want to start off by saying, I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support and for giving me time. I wanted to share what I went through with Sienna and my side of the story. This all started when my friend came out with a tweet because he was worried about me. He actually witnessed a bunch of times what Sienna did to me. After Mason's tweet, their family reached out to our family, told Mason to take down his tweet, and he did. We wanted to settle it offline. Our families and our lawyers got together. My statement was confirming the tweet. It was the truth, and basically that we're handling it offline now. Sienna posted her own version of the statement and said she was going to handle it offline. After that, she basically posted an 8-minute video invalidating my feelings, saying untrue stuff about me, about my friend and my brother. I think the most hurtful thing is that what she did to me, she said it was untrue. That hurt a lot. After that video, another one of my friends came out with the video when I was at a party, like passed out on the couch. When they told me about what happened.
I thought it wasn't a party. I thought it was.
I have something to say. Obviously, he lied that he was passed out. So I just want to say that if he's lying in the first minute and a half of this video, everything else in this video could also be a lie. Because you can clearly tell that he was not passed out.
Notice how the first thing when he goes to say the passed out is the video of him sleeping, not the one of them making out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if this is what they usually do, if they just write down tweets on their Notes app. But that is the Notes app right there in dark mode. The Notes app on Apple. Marin's going to give you an example. Look at that. They're the exact same thing. They just screenshotted it from the Notes app, which I think is very suspicious. Why they wouldn't just take the tweet or the Instagram message or the TikTok message or the Twitter message or whatever. Where I don't know why they just didn't get it from the source. If it is
maybe they're scared that if they accidentally tweet it and it's wrong. But look, I just screenshotted it.
Yeah, it's just you can tell it's kind of from the Notes app, which I think is very suspicious.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to 115 and we'll continue.
They said they pulled her off of me. My twin, a friend, and another friend got in an argument with Sienna saying, you can't do that. Jack doesn't like you like that. That night she posted a 15-part aggressive video gaslighting everything about what happened, how much she loved me, and that I was using her for clout, which was all lies. It was typical gaslighting to a victim. It was, why didn't you stop hanging out with me? Why didn't you tell me in the first place?
So, if you go back probably maybe 10, 15 seconds, he said something about his friend saying that Jack doesn't like her like that, but there are multiple videos in Sienna's video showing that they were both having consensual, making out, and they both wanted to do it.
And I'm pretty sure, didn't they confirm their relationship online? I'm pretty sure they did whatever. All right, let's continue.
This guy on TikTok, he posted a video, and it was just, he explained oh my God. He explained everything perfectly.
It's a trauma that you have to process, and sometimes you have to process it alone because an entire society is against you as a man. Sienna, I've watched the video. Exactly. It falls off of his friend's back. Your hand is on his crotch. It is not on his upper thigh. He was unconscious. You did a bad thing, and I know you're trying to right it in every way you can because of the account that you have and the following that you have and the life that you're currently living, but I need you to just do us all a favor and admit what you did was wrong. I don't care how touchy-feely your relationship was prior to or after that moment, but just know that he did not speak up, and he did not act any different because he knew a society would be against him as it is. And now that everybody's seen the truth, you just attacked in a way that is supposed to be an apology or a righting the wrong. What you're doing is manipulating right now. Any sane person knows that they wouldn't have to go on multiple platforms to post something like this, and they wouldn't be getting angry in the videos that are supposed to be addressing and apologizing. I know you've got a lot to lose, I know you've got a lot to live for, but here's the truth. You getting worked up because people are trying to get the truth out of you to
so we can
video. Just know that the truth will prevail, and your bullshit lies will come out.
Let's
Who
pause.
is he
We have
to
a lot
be
to
talking
say.
about it like he knows them or something? Like you
We
don't know.
clearly saw his hand move twice. Twice we saw his hand move.
Twice.
Which means he was not unconscious, and plus, he wasn't even there. He cannot say anything if he did not see. Like, we're saying stuff because we were pointing out facts, and some of the facts that we were pointing out, like, maybe her hand was on his thigh. We don't know that for a fact.
Yeah,
We
and
weren't
he
there.
doesn't
We
either.
didn't see it. He was not there either, so he can only state facts.
I think his video was one of the reasons why I was okay and was able to not come out with like an aggressive statement like her. I was able just to, I knew the truth. I knew what she did to me. Sienna and I met 4 years ago in high school. She was dating my good friend.
Wait, oh my god, pause. 4 years ago they met? Excuse me?
Yeah, like, where is this coming?
I said that they knew each other in high school.
Is that what they said?
That's what he just said. I said something that.
So
in 2020.
Sienna was dating one of his friends, and then Sienna cheated on him.
She said they cheated on.
He is doing all this with her after that happened.
Okay, so wait. So he knew that if she did cheat, unless he's just saying this to make her look bad.
He knew that.
It's a possibility. It probably did happen, but it's a possibility. If she did cheat on both those guys, and he's saying it now, then he definitely knew it when he jumped into their relationship. Then he knew that she cheated on those people, and he willingly jumped into the relationship with a person that he knew could cheat.
And basically, it did not turn out well. She cheated on him 2 times, and it kind of like created this whole problem in her friend group. I'm the type of guy that's all for like second chances with people, and I always try to see the good in people. I was in the Hype House. I was going back and forth from LA, and Sienna had just gone viral on a couple videos. She reached out to me and basically asked if I want to do an interview with her in LA, and I said, of course. We hung out, reconnected. I showed her around the Hype House, introduced her to all my friends, and I was happy for her, and we just had fun hanging out. I just want to clarify that we both knew that we're just friends.
There was a clear lighting change right there.
I just want to clarify that
means he
we
was
both
taking a
knew
long
that we're just
time,
friends.
You know,
she was
like that.
singing and talking to other guys in LA all the time, and I just thought of her as a good friend. We were making videos, we were making dance trends, we had fun. It was just strictly friends, and we both knew that. At this point, nothing inappropriate. It is very difficult for me to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time. So the first incident where Sienna crossed boundaries, it was after filming. We went into the room. I was just chilling on my phone on the bed, and she got naked, like completely naked, nothing on.
He might just
and
be
straddled me when I was literally just chilling on the bed. But I didn't know what to do.
In Sienna's video, she said that she never got naked. And then he just said that she did.
Yeah, someone's lying here.
Quickly told her, Sienna, get off. We're just friends. Stop. They're trying to make out with me. They're like just doing a bunch of things to me. And I kept on saying, Sienna, stop, get off. I didn't want to like be like aggressive. I didn't want to hurt her, you know? So I pulled her off of me, and it took like a couple of tries because I didn't want to be like too rough. And I went out of the room, and that was like the end of it. The next morning, where she was like, I'm so sorry for doing that.
Aaron, pause.
I don't know what.
So he just said like a bunch of times that he wasn't trying to be rough. He kept saying it over and over again, and I think he was trying to convince us that he's not the victim, and that he was like, I guess,
he was doing the right thing, wasn't being aggressive, not hurting her, nothing.
But also,
he's trying to assure us of that.
Sienna did stuff like that to make her seem like the victim too. But I'd like it really depends on who was lying in the situation, because if Sienna was lying, he's the victim. If he's lying, she's the victim.
Well, he is apparently, like, even Sienna said it, he is the victim, but not of her, of someone else. We don't know who this other person is, though.
It went through my head. I had to clarify again that I didn't like her that way. We were just friends. She said sorry. That was it. After that, these type of things kept happening.
Marin, would you like to pause?
Do something.
And then I know Marin has something to say about the lighting change. She told me when we kind of reviewed this earlier. Marin, if you want to go through. Oh, is that the exact time too? 6:05.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if we notice here to the left, a little light. That gives obvious reasons that's daylight. Now, 6:05. We're just going to skip to a random part here. Where that light
on and it's
darker. Not natural lighting. That is what your room will look like when it is dark out. So this obviously took a long time to film.
Well, it could have, it's very hard to talk about something like this, so we could have maybe had to take a break or something. Maybe that's why there's all the lighting changes and stuff.
Yeah, but there's like a lot of lighting changes, which signifies like it seems like it went from 12 to 6. Like that's how long.
We're to get this dark when it was probably, let's say, midday. Let's see when the sun sets in California, just because I'm curious, because we're going to get to the bottom of this.
You can also see the YouTube button in the bookshelf change. That's how you know it's like a different time of change, because usually with the daylight and you have something lit up, it's not really like visible, but at the night, look at that. That's totally lit. It's blurring out because of the camera.
That's true. Good one.
So the sun starts setting at 5:15, but that probably for it to be fully dark is probably like 6:37.
Yeah,
and he has been filming this when the sun was up in the middle of the day, so it was probably like what? This probably took like over 5 hours to film.
So it means, yeah, he filmed either a lot or just took like a pretty big break, which both are really weird, because that means if he filmed a lot, that means he either had someone go through and edit this, or he edited it himself, which would be very suspicious. Or
no, I can tell this video has a lot of editing.
Him taking a big break, I think that is also like very weird. Like if I'm talking about something serious, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's lunchtime. You know, I'm gonna finish this serious video, especially if I'm gonna upload it to the internet, because I want people to believe me, because I'm a victim. You know,
especially with Sienna, she did it in one take. There was minimum cutting. It was the same time of day. It took like 15 minutes to explain. This just seems edited, and it seems so scripted. Maybe this is just a theory I have. What if they did the script and he didn't like it, so they had to make a bunch of changes to it? Just saying.
It's a possibility for sure.
Possibility. Okay. Let's continue.
Do something, and I would forgive her, and she said it wouldn't happen again, and we would go on and making fun videos. After all those type of things kept on happening, the Hawaii incident happened where I was passed out unconscious on the whole night. She got on top of me, took advantage of me, groped me. I'm so glad they pulled her off of me, and honestly, I'm glad that they have evidence. After Sienna found out about the video, she said sorry. She said if this got out, she would be done. That is horrible, and she's working on boundaries, and she was seeking therapy. And shortly after, there was a party. I was taking pictures with a couple other girls. We took a picture. Sienna came in, started screaming at me.
I've noticed in this video so far, it seems like he's trying to make Sienna look bad. Well, in Sienna's video, she was just trying to say the truth. In Sienna's video, I did not notice her trying to make Jack, Mason, or James look. Well, okay, she kind of made James look bad and Mason, but she
because he was like, why was he just sitting there recording? And then the friend, he was like, I was sitting there on the couch taking care of Jack while he was unconscious. You're sitting there on your phone while your friend's unconscious. Like, that is... Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to make Sienna, so
if you
far...
were taking care of your friend, you would most likely bring them to, like, a bed or sit them down or ever have everyone leave them alone.
And you're having, like... Right when Sienna got on top of Jack and they started kissing, why did he wait for the video to end to supposedly take her off of him? You would do that right away, because it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I agree with Peyton. If he was unconscious, then why didn't they take care of him and they just let him sit on her? Or sit on her, I'm sorry.
They're just sitting there, like, filming the whole time. Like,
why are you all are saying if he was unconscious? Because he wasn't. He wasn't unconscious, so that's why they didn't do it.
Like, if one of you guys were passed out, I would have been rushing. I would have been calling, like, ambulance or whatever. They were just sitting there recording.
Yeah. Especially if it was, well, that's because me and Marin said because it was illegal. Because he was either drinking illegally or doing drugs illegally, and that's why he was passed out.
Yeah, like, why is he unconscious? Like, if he was asleep, he obviously would have gotten up. So why is he unconscious if he was unconscious?
If he was asleep, he would have woken up.
Leaving out details, like, really important details. Like, why is he unconscious?
Like, I was unconscious because let's just say he hit his head. I hit my head, and I was just resting. I don't know why he... Oh, please.
Like, I feel like he would get maybe in less trouble if he was telling us the real reason he was unconscious.
Like, details.
Yeah, like,
also,
don't just cut out things.
Sorry, Marion. Also, Sienna says that I will not, tell anything on Jack's behalf because it's confidential and everything. Jack's just trying to explode Sienna, and if they were in love, why would he do that?
Exactly.
Honestly, like, that's not something you do.
Because Sienna, as she said, she loved Jack. Jack, it was a fake relationship for social media, which so far, that story, everything is sticking to that story. The way he's talking about Sienna, the way she talked about him, everything like that. All right.
Told me to come to her room to talk to me. She started screaming at me, and I was like, Sienna, there's no reason for you to be mad when you're getting with other guys in LA. I can't just take a simple picture with a couple girls. That's when she pulled me in and grabbed me and tried to make out with me.
It looks like he's trying not to smile. Do you see? He's like trying to pull me in, and it looks like he's trying not to smile. Let's go back and watch the last 10 seconds, and everybody just look at his face.
Take a simple picture with a couple girls. That's when she pulled me in and grabbed me and tried to make out with me, and I got pissed and told her to leave. I wanted to stay at the party, and she kind of had already been yelling at every single person in the party. So 2 friends wanted to take her home, and while the car was moving, she jumped out of the car, rolled, and said, I have to get back to Jack. So I ran back to the house, and I was, like, hiding from her, and
but how
I was
does
waiting
he
for
know
her
this
parents
is
to
true
finally pick her
when he
up.
was
Looking back
hiding
now,
from her?
I don't know why I stayed friends with her, stayed around her. I truly thought she was going to change for some reason. I feel like she'd say she has so much love for me.
So the 2 friends taking her home, she did say that 2 friends took her home. She did say that friends took her home, but she did not mention her jumping out of the car and going back to the house, which, like, obviously she wouldn't mention if she actually did it, but, like, I think that's that's just so random.
The next night she would do something like that. She knew I had those boundaries. So when I was at my most, like, vulnerable state, like when I was arguing, getting heated, or when I was asleep or passed out, that's when she would take advantage of me.
Wait, he just smiled.
Because she knew I was at my most. When I'm awake, I hated it. I hated that touch. I hated any intimacy with her because I knew we were just friends. I didn't want that from her. And especially with, like, the past couple things she did, I I didn't want anything to do with that. Over the next couple of months, I was stuck in this toxic cycle. I was stuck with her crying to all my friends, saying that I didn't like her back, and why don't I like her back, and she would get mad at me for not caring about her as much as she cared about for me, but she'd also be doing these things to me. I would go see other guys in LA, so it was like couldn't win at all. I couldn't get out of this. She would constantly come to my house, remember my door codes. It got to the point where I had to like start screaming at her to like get out of my house because I was so sick of her just like breaking into my house. I would wake up and see her car just sitting outside at like 2 in the morning. She would break into my house.
So there was like 5 lighting changes in the past minute, and he also said that he would yell at her.
But he didn't do anything about her breaking into the house.
Also, why does he keep on looking to the left?
That's true.
Have you noticed it? His eyes will go from like looking straight at the camera, and then he'll look off, and then come back on, and like blink it off. But it kept on looking to the left, and I kept on noticing that. And usually, when you look to the left, there's like a screen or something that has like words.
But I also think maybe he's just nervous, and like sometimes if you're looking at a camera, you know, I feel like maybe he might be looking at like some sort of script or something. But you know, sometimes you just need a point to look at. Also, yeah, he said in the past, like, I don't know, in some, like, around the 3-minute mark, I think, he said, or I don't know, somewhat time in this video, he said he wanted to be gentle to her. He said he thought she would change. Him yelling at her, I'm not sure if that really sticks to what he said.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
My house, and when I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room, and I'd wake up to her hand in my pants, and it wasn't, like, the only time it happened, too. I was so, like, used to it. I was so used to it that I don't know, it was just, like, normal for me that, I didn't think there was such, like, a problem at all. Like, part of me wants to blame myself for being nice and sticking around after so many times. But now I realize that I was stuck in this, like, manipulative cycle of her acting like she extremely cared about me, and then that night she would do stuff to me, and it was just so normal for me. I got used to it, which sucks. I feel like no one should have to go through. It's weird. I almost felt like I owed it to her for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I felt like,
I don't want to say this because this would be extremely kind of like, if he most likely, he was, I keep saying this, he was assaulted. I don't know, there's some word, I don't want to say that he's lying, but if he was, like, if he was lying that he was about being sexually assaulted by Sienna, then it, like, what he's saying, it's like something I've seen in a documentary about them being sexually assaulted or kidnapped or what. Like, I owe it to them. Like, what he's saying is kind of generic, almost. And he's not providing any dates either. Like, kind of, it's very, everything he's providing is very vague. And if he's going to the internet to convince people that he's telling the truth, then he should provide evidence.
Yeah, I agree, because Sienna Mae was providing lots of dates.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's continue.
It was all, I don't know. I was like stuck. And I feel like you should never have to, like, worry about, like, falling asleep and waking up to one of your good friends, like, touching you, you know? I was, like, terrified for some reason, which you shouldn't be from, like, a person. One night she started ripping off my clothes, touching my crotch area, trying to make out with me. I mean, it was just, like, same old, same old. Like, I'd say, Sienna, stop, go back to the couch, Sienna, stop. So I, like, locked the door. She was trying to get in, and I literally just slept on the floor, and she finally went to bed. It's, like, very awkward the next morning, and she'll say sorry, and I'm like, Sienna, this happens so many times. Like, you do not respect boundaries. You just, oh my God. So my dad was born and raised in Hawaii, so we planned a trip to the beach house my dad grew up on in Hawaii. And Sienna's family basically...
Okay. I just want to say that I'm noticing a lot of facial touching, and I learned back in what was it? I don't know. We did some like focus class where we learned we went to this place and we learned like about lying and stuff, and in that course it says if there's like facial touching, really like it signifies that they are lying. People will touch their face if they're lying. And that, like in the first 10 minutes of the video there wasn't too much of that. And also the one clip that was like pretty long. The clips are getting a little bit longer now, which I think is good. He's more truthful now, but like that one part where he was kind of getting real tears. I'm not like, yeah. I want to point that out. I'm not sure what to say about that, but I just want to point it out.
Also, if he was so uncomfortable when they were making out, why didn't he push her off or something? Yeah, why didn't he do that? He just let it happen.
He said he wanted to be gentle, but also he would yell at her to get out of the house, which doesn't stick to the story.
I just want to point out, we've already watched this video, but I don't mean to like spoil. He doesn't talk about anything about the fake relationship.
Yeah.
Because in like Sienna's video, when she was posting or showing all the videos of them like hugging and doing like touchy and stuff like that.
Kissing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He says nothing about them being in a relationship, which I think is really weird. Even though they kiss in almost every single video of them that they have together.
Yeah.
And I feel like you would have to have something like some sort of like love for someone if you're willing to like. I feel like that he had something for Sienna probably because they wouldn't just be doing a fake relationship and doing that much like PDA.
But I didn't want to leave because she already left to go back home, and I did not want to be at home with her because I know she'd find a way to start hanging out with me again. So my mom got a text from Sienna's mom saying that Sienna is on a plane taxiing right now. Hearing that she was coming back, it was like, this cycle is never gonna end. It's like, it's gonna be like this forever. That's what it felt like. She was always gonna make her way back towards me. She wasn't respecting my space at all. She knew I wanted my space. There's another time I went to Hawaii with a couple friends for like my trip, and she kind of found a way to get on that trip. And we went to a party one night. She got mad that I was talking to some girls, and she took me into the bathroom to talk to me.
In the article that Sienna just wrote and that we read part of, Sienna did say that the trip that he's talking about right now, Jack invited her on. We don't know what's true right now because there's no evidence on that. She was invited, and he was flirting with other girls, not just taking pictures.
She wanted to leave. She was blocking the door, so like I couldn't just like throw her out of the way. All I had was stop, Sienna, don't do that. If I come out, she will like scream at me in front of everyone and think that I did something. I mean, I feel like no one believes a male, especially in like that type of situation. But yeah, she was on the counter and wrapped her legs around me and started like, let me out of the bathroom. Yeah, just weird stuff. That night we went home, made sure we had like different rooms to stay in. And I got in the shower and she picked the lock of my door. I made sure to lock the doors, but she picked the lock and walked in. I was in the shower. All I heard was just like the door opening. And that's when I was just done. I screamed at her, told her to get out. She started crying. She went and slept in my bed. And I went to my friend's trundle bed that was like upstairs. And that's how like the night ended. So now we're caught up to when everything went public, when Mason posted his tweet. Since everything was brought to social media, multiple guys came out to me and said that Sienna did similar things to them. And basically I'm sure.
All right, so this is seems to be, that's TikTok. That is Instagram,
TikTok,
I think.
Instagram, and
Snapchat. What I think is weird that he crossed out the people who said that. I think that's a little weird. But there is dates. But they met in 2018. And since they met, when they met, he knew that she had cheated on 2 other guys. There was only one guy that she cheated on twice, supposedly.
Yeah.
But if that means she was 4 years ago, she's 18 now. She was 14 then, 15.
Somewhere around there.
That's when they met. 14, 15 then. So that means unless this happened while they were together, she did this when she was 13, 14, which most likely did not happen. Hey guys, Emily had to go. She fell asleep, so we just got rid of her from the meet.
Yeah, I kicked her.
And yeah. All right. So these are the messages. I just want to say that. Oh wait, we already went through that. Emily left. We had to
If
kick
you
her.
guys in the video want to pause at any moment to read any of these things, feel free to.
Yeah. Go ahead and read them.
Yeah.
I think we should. Yes. We're gonna link the videos down in the description box below, and
we can link the article also.
And we'll link the articles, like all the screenshots and TikTok. We'll link everything we'll have everything at your disposal.
I asked all of them for permission to post, crossed out all their names. We don't want her to hurt anybody else. We don't want anyone to go through that experience. At the time, it feels humiliating. You feel like you have no power. You have no control in the situation. You feel, I don't know, it's horrible. I just want to start off by saying that I didn't stay silent in the situation over these last couple months.
He did or didn't?
I talked to my friends, my family, my parents, counselors, and I was able to process everything. I don't think I'll ever be the same person I was before Sienna. It sucks, and there's going to be people that try to take advantage of you and get you at your most vulnerable state, and that's not fair. That's not fair at all. And it's a lot of the time it's usually like the nice people that like let people walk all over them. And that was me. Like I let everyone just walk all over me.
I just want to say real quick. I'm on my phone. I'm looking for his page. I'm just looking for information. I just want to say that. He just called himself nice. I just want to say that. He's trying to make himself look good. I just want to point that out because I think he's just being so humble. You know, I just want to say that. I just wanted to say that. All right. Let's continue.
No matter what, like I would do anything for anyone, and I think that's one of the things she gave me was I learned
oh my god
how to be more bold and finally say no. And
so I just want to say he's literally been posting TikToks.
That was the one where he was like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm putting this on YouTube.
Look, he's literally making TikToks throughout this entire thing. That was 11 days ago. And he's smiling and whatever. He looks to be the same person to me. So Jack Wright, you are a liar.
Know that it was right to speak out. I feel like people don't know what you go through until you're in it, and it's definitely like humiliating, weird, awkward. I want to be that person that says it's okay. It's okay to speak out. You're not going to be known for that. It's just a little obstacle that you have to get through. It's something you have to get through, and it sucks, but I feel like in my situation, like I've just learned. You learn from it. I've learned so much from everything. I've grown so much as a person. It's insane. And as of Sienna, I don't know if she'll ever be sorry. I don't know if she'll ever learn from what she did or she'll ever admit to what she did. But I just don't want her to do this to other people. If you've been through a similar situation as me, I encourage you just to speak out to anyone. And trust me, it helps so much. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to me and letting me take time and breathe and process everything. And I'm glad I'm finally ready to tell the world my story. if you're watching right now and you've been through a situation like mine, I just want to say your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. Your opinion is valid. I believe you, and I want you to know that you can talk to someone. You can talk to anyone. You can talk to me. But that's how I want to end it off. I love you guys.
I think that last little part, that really long clip, that was very genuine.
Yes,
and like
I think. Well, it's because he was like either way, he was sexually assaulted.
He was. But like.
But I want to say before we start saying anything about he was a naysayer, blah blah. I just want to say we feel bad for you, and that we are very glad that you're doing better now.
Yeah, we're not like against him. Like, no, we're not against anyone.
But yeah, he did say like that unconscious part. He was stretching the truth like a lot, and I just want to say that.
That's the like only real part I thought was like a little bit like a lie. I thought that part was definitely a lie.
Well, I don't think I know. Like that, we know for a fact that was 100%.
Well, we don't know for a fact, Robbie, but we are.
Well, yeah, because we weren't there, but like
we're 99%, but we're not.
We saw his hand move twice, so either he was high, drunk, or totally sober.
That's just my question. If he was unconscious, everyone's saying he was unconscious. Even that 40-year-old man.
I know, but nobody is questioning.
What was he unconscious from?
And if it was like a head bump or something medical, bring him to a stupid hospital.
Why are you just sitting
You guys are like millionaires because you guys do TikTok. You guys are in the hype house, for goodness sake. Second of all, if it was drugs or alcohol, now what if they didn't call the cops or an ambulance? It's illegal.
I'm saying like neutral. Like,
we don't.
I don't.
We don't say like who's the naysayer or what. But I'm putting my personal opinion out there. I don't want to call the victim. I totally feel bad for him, and I'm so glad that he's doing better. But yeah. I believe Sienna.
Yeah.
Sienna, she stuck to the same story the entire time. Nothing, like I didn't notice any big changes in lighting or anything like that. And like her story, what she said, even in Jack's video, like everything
lined up.
Everything lined up to her story.
I think that there is just not enough like
evidence.
Actual evidence. Like a lot of this is just him saying this, and his friends are backing him up.
Yeah, that's why Sienna showed evidence. Sienna showed evidence.
Like, but there's no real evidence that goes towards her. Like, I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I'm just saying, like, there's not enough proof for me to believe, like, for me to know it was Sienna.
I don't know why, but I feel like Sienna in the next week or so is going to come out with another video.
Too, the way she got a legal team first, and the way she just handled it, and the way she talked about it, makes me seem like, yeah, she knows she's innocent. And that's why she wants people to come out with evidence and stuff, because she knows it's not true. Like, if someone...
Is it just me, or at the end of Jack's video, did you expect there to be, like, a depression ad or something? An ad for, like, a depression hotline? Because I expected that 100%. Because it was very... I don't know. It just seemed a little too much. Like, the crying... and everything just seemed like a little too much. Sienna's was like out there. She was using hand movements. She wasn't going off the screen. She was looking directly towards them. It was very...
And the editing for Jack's video too is very weird, very sus.
But we do have to keep in mind he is the victim in the situation. So there's two different...
Well, is a victim, not the victim.
He's the victim. Like, Sienna, like, she admitted, like, she is not the victim, and she's not trying to play the victim. She knows that Jack is the victim of someone, but it's not her, is what she's saying.
Well, I know, but, like, if Sienna is telling the truth, that means he lied. He lied, his friends lied. Well, they did lie, but so far it's only been proven once.
Okay. So I found some links under Jack's video, so I'm gonna present so we can, go to those links.
What if it was all like a viral act?
Guys, what? He put in the National Sexual Assault Hotline.
I told you.
That's good
Oh
on
my
him,
God,
though.
Caitlin,
That's
you're
good on
correct.
him, though.
I know. I am so happy right now. 3, 2,
Robbie, what the heck is this?
Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something beneficial in this video, and I hope they get everything figured out, and I hope all is well with Sienna and Jack.
Bye.
All right, now.